this city. Everyone here is really awkward, and it's kind of like being in a city of 13-year-olds. Like, just the way they are. Like, they have very little social skills. Their driving is horrible. Um, they're awkward as fuck. They're passive aggressive, just like off the bat. Like, I think they think, you know how little like 13-year-olds think, like not all of them, but you know how sometimes like the kids that are like the mean kids or whatever, like they get attention for being snarky to people or making the loser of the class look dumb somehow. That's kind of how they are. So it's like you come in off the street, like trying to purchase something in a store, or you're trying to get gas or something, and you have to have an interaction with this person. Like, you don't want to, you'd rather go to self checkout or whatever, but like they don't have that shit every single place. So there's times you have to encounter other people, and it's never just like a normal interaction. You know what I mean? Like, until I came to this city, every now and then I would have kind of a weird interaction with an employee, and I would write it off as, we all have bad days, whatever. Every single employee, and it's not like someone pissed in their Cheerios. It's like they think they're flexing on you. It's like they think that they look cool, or like it makes them like somehow better of a person by putting you down. You see what I mean? So it's just really weird because like the passive aggressiveness, and like you won't even necessarily do anything, but they'll find some way to like make fun of you. You know how like how high schoolers will do, like middle schoolers will do, like um, you won't even be doing anything, but they'll just like find a way to make fun of you. Like that's why a lot of kids have problems like wearing glasses and stuff at that age, is because kids will relentlessly bully them for even something as normal as wearing a pair of glasses. So yeah, like this most recent interaction, I went into this gas station, and there's two employees behind the counter, and there's like five registers on this counter, and there's stuff all over the counters. None of the registers say closed, but there's only two people, so you would assume that only one or two registers are running. And so I walk in, and normally when you walk in and they see a customer walk in, they'll go up to their register that they're working at. They'll usually wave you over. Sometimes they'll point at the terminal, um, to let you know, right? So I walk in, and they just kind of look at me like I'm stupid. And so I walk up to the counter, and she had two registers, one on each side, and she's just like looking at her friend and then looking down at her phone. So she's not really looking at either register. Like, how they're like, oh, hey, how can I help you? And you can tell, oh, they're on the right side or they're on the left side. So you'll step over to that side, right? No, she just stood there. She's staring back at her coworker, staring down at her phone, staring at me. And so I turned around and looked to see what pump I'm on, because, like, sometimes you forget, whatever. And as I'm turning to look, instead of like giving me a second to look, she realizes, oh, I can distract you. And she's like, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get gas on, and she's like, you're trying to get gas on what pump? And I'm like, and so I look, and then I tell her, I'm like, I'm on pump 12, I want to get $7. She's like, okay, 7 on 12. It's ready for you. I'm like, okay. And like the tap to pay stuff, sometimes it takes a second to load. And so it's like not working right, and I'm trying to look at it, and then I had to go into my account to see if there was still money in there, because it was like being weird about the money, and it wasn't going through. So I was like, never mind, just change it to 6. And I handed her $6, and she didn't know what to do. She's like, and she looks over at her coworker. I just start walking out. Like, that's not my problem. I asked for 6 on 12. You're gonna put 6 on 12. Anyways, so I leave. I get out to the pump. It took them a while to figure it out, but they figured it out. I got my gas pumped, and yeah, it's just really fucking weird. Like, one time I went to a gas station, and I bought gas, and then I pulled up into a parking spot, and I was there for maybe 3 minutes, and the gas station worker comes out there and says, you're loitering. I mean, yeah, technically. Like, technically, if I were to walk into a gas station, buy a bag of chips, the moment I leave the register, if I were to pause at any moment to tie my shoe, scratch my ass, like that's loitering. And that's how they are here. Like they're like, the instant you're done giving me money, I'm calling the cops on you. Most places, like, if they have a problem with loitering, they'll put up parking signs. They'll say 2-hour parking limit, a 30-minute parking limit, 15-minute parking limit. And then you know you have that much time. You're like, okay, I mean, I bought something from this establishment, therefore I have a right to be here. I got 15 minutes. I got 2 hours. I got whatever. Some places are 4 hours. Here, there's no signs, there's no posting. Sometimes they'll put signs in the parking lot that just vaguely say no loitering. So what does that mean? Because you're not allowed to go inside and buy things and then eat them in your car, because that's loitering. So you're not, like, literally, if you're not buying something, you're not supposed to be there. You can't even consume the food on the property. You have to leave. Isn't that insane? I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I gotta get the fuck out of Springfield. This place sucks ass. And I've said it before, if you live in a car like I do, don't come to Springfield, Missouri. Just skip it. Yeah, there's no point. Because literally just by existing, they try to criminalize you. They're just looking for an opportunity to oppress you because you're poor, because you can't afford, like, a hotel room or an apartment or whatever. Like, you're not, I feel like me, you're not allowed to rent because you don't make enough money, or, you just can't afford a hotel room because they're expensive. You know what I mean? I make enough money, I could make rent. Like, I could pay the rent, but they won't allow me to rent because I don't make enough money. Like, you have to make 3 times the amount of rent, and I only make, like, I don't even know. Because I was working at Amazon, and they were like, rent here is $600 a month. Or no, maybe it was like $850 a month, and I was bringing in like $700 every 2 weeks. I don't know. Don't quote me on that because I don't remember. We were getting paid like $19.50 an hour, and I had to work overtime and stuff. But whatever it was, they were like, "Could you get a second job?" I'm like, "I'm already working as much overtime as I can. Like, getting a second job really, like, if I'm making overtime, I'm making more per hour than I'd be making if I like got a second job and was working just a regular hourly rate, you know." So that wouldn't make any sense. And they're like, "Well, you can't rent here because you don't make enough money." And I'm like, "It's the cheapest place, so I guess I can't rent." Anyways, yeah, the whole loitering thing, it's really out of hand here. Like, it's just weird.